Hi, I'm Angela. I'm 17 years old, and I'm here to tell you guys a little bit about something important to me. This is about gymnastics. Ever hear about the names of Shawn Johnson, Nastia Lukin, Gabby Douglas, Jordan Weber, Ali Raisman? Well, they're all gymnasts like me. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the story of gymnastics in my perspective. So if I had a diary, or if any gymnast had a diary, this is what I think they would tell you. So here it goes, the diary of a gymnast. So I guess you could say my gymnastics story isn't the typical gymnastics story. I started in the sport much later than other kids. I started gymnastics at the age of 10. I couldn't do a single thing. Not a roll, not a cartwheel, not a handstand. Not the basic of things. My parents never let me do flips or anything, so it's kind of surprising I became the gymnast I am today. But it wasn't easy. It was really, really hard. Changing gyms multiple times, going between coach to coach, different events, learning so many different things. When you're a gymnast, you're not only fighting against yourself, you're fighting against every other person who's out there. Everyone wants to be the top, but only one person can be that top player. Doing gymnastics is not easy whatsoever. You're going to fall hundreds and hundreds of times. But then when you get your skill for the first time, it's amazing. It's like nothing you've ever experienced in your life. It's just a thrill. Well, if you're watching right now, which I guess you are, you're probably watching me when I was 10 or 11 years old. Yeah, I couldn't do a single thing. I could barely do a backward roll correctly. No flexibility, no strength, just bleh, every average day person. That didn't stop me though. For years I pushed harder and harder. And I wanted to get somewhere. I wanted to get to states and I wanted to win more than anything. It meant the world to me. And I knew whatever it took, I was going to achieve this goal. No matter how hard, no matter how many hours a day I had to practice, how many days of the week I had to practice, I was going to do it. I was going to win. I was going to get to states, and I would be the best anyone has ever seen. Just watch me. Now, I guess you can say, I'm not your typical everyday average teenager. I'm currently 17 years old, and I guess for a long period of time in my life, when I joined team when I was 13, I didn't do anything normal per se. I would leave school early. Practice went from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Then we had an hour break, and practice started again at 6. From 6 to 10, we had our second practice, and man, was it exhausting. So when you do gymnastics, you have really, really bizarre hours. So you'll kind of wake up really, really early, wake up in the middle of the night to do your homework, finish your homework, and you'll go to bed really, really late. So you'll come into your house, or your room, and you'll just kind of be stumbling over because you're so exhausted from your day of practice and stuff. And that's definitely been me a bunch of times. I would walk into my room and pretty much collapse on my bed and just be like, I'm done. No one talk to me for the rest of the day. And then I'd have to wake up a few hours later, finish my homework, and then go back to sleep for another few hours, hoping I would get a little sleep, and then wake up at 7 o'clock, get ready to go to school, be at school by 8. I one time fell asleep waiting for my turn on the vault. Being a gymnast is not easy at all. People think, oh, that looks so easy. Trust me, it's not easy. It takes years and years to build up the stamina, the strength, and the ability to do any skill you do. Took me ages to learn most of the things I learned. I didn't just get them all lickety-split. For me, I definitely wasn't one of those naturally gifted gymnasts. I had to work super duper hard because I couldn't do anything. Many coaches who always wanted to yell and scream at you every single day. I mean, they never stopped yelling at you. So, So, my story really isn't just about my coaches, about my gymnastics. It's more about what happened and how this bump in the road kind of made me almost miss out on my opportunity, and just such a bad fall that it was such a painful thing that happened that I almost ended my career because of that, and I wouldn't have gotten my I wouldn't have gotten to states or anything. So yeah, check it out. So I came home that night after breaking my ankle, and I was crushed. I couldn't move. I couldn't walk. Couldn't stand. I was limping. I was hopping on the one foot, and it was horrible. I knew that states were in a few months, no time to waste, and I was scared I wouldn't be able to compete in states that year, and I was so nervous about it. I didn't know if I was going to be able to compete. I didn't know if I was even going to be able to walk by then. So rather than giving up and just saying, oh, I'm not going to be able to go to states this year, I decided to push myself harder than I've ever pushed before.